NHL draft just happened, and the NHL just turned into the NBA. They also do a lottery, same as baseball, same as hockey, same as basketball. Anyways, basically the NHL draft, everybody's convinced that it was rigged. Austin Matthews, one of the superstars in the league, American-born player, says, hey, basically I'm non-committal and come back to Toronto. And Toronto basically had, they were the 5th best odds in the number 1 overall pick, not like the Mavericks, who were 16th there last year, or 15th, however it works. Yeah, I guess 16th for the NBA, and they jump up to get Cooper Flag after trading Doncic. So now obviously all the rumors are, okay, Matthews is getting traded one way or the other. Anyways, moral of the story, MLB, whatever you do, do not rig the draft. That is how you lose credibility. That is how you will lose fans. Honestly, I love the way that the NFL does it. I love the way that MLB used to do it. As much of a fan of the draft lottery as people are because of the anticipation, go back to just you finished last year, the 1st overall pick. Simplest way to do things.
Yeah, I mean, you got to respect your fans' knowledge at the end of the day. And if you start losing that, you lose fans. You hit the nail on the head, Nolan. And then great final thought. Really, really, I never thought about it the way you just said it. And that was you're right. Basketball and hockey. I mean, if you're going to do that stuff, it better really be credible, and look good. And not every time there looks like trouble on a certain team, and make the playoffs and they get the number 1 pick to steady the ship, so to speak. Who cares? If you got bad management, be better as a commissioner and hold those teams accountable and say either sell it or get better. One way or the other, you're a part of a league, a special league in the world in these pro sports. So can't thank you enough for listening. Can't thank you enough for being a part of the nation. To all the servicemen and women there, thank you for doing what you do each and every day. So Nolan, myself, and the rest of Dirtbags can do what we love to do, and that's baseball as a player, a parent, a coach, a fan. You got to guarantee if you need a question answered, send it to us on Facebook or Instagram at Dirtbag Baseball Nation. We'll get back in touch with you. If you are out there playing this week, get up and get after it, get dirty on the field and off the field. So, unfortunately, though, Dirtbags, it is that time. It's time to get up, get after it. Nolan, do what you do.
Hey, thanks for listening once again, Dirtbags. Stay tuned because it's going to be a hell of a ride.
This is all sports news. Here's what's happening across the world of sports. In Major League Baseball, teams across the league are placing a stronger emphasis on developing young talent as front offices continue to shift toward long-term roster building. Instead of relying heavily on free agency, organizations are investing more in their farm systems, looking to create sustainable success from within. The approach not only provides financial flexibility, but also allows teams to build chemistry over time. And it could play a major role in shaping the next generation of contenders. In the NFL, international expansion continues to be a major priority for the league, as more games and events are held outside the United States. The NFL has steadily increased its in Europe, while also exploring opportunities in new global markets. The strategy reflects a broader effort to grow the game internationally and connect a wider audience. And as fan interest continues to rise, more international matchups are expected in the future.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care for people can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where faith meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled KATY.org. Team up with them today.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Ivy, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Turning to the NBA, load management remains a key topic across the league as teams work to balance player health and performance. With a long and demanding season, organizations are carefully managing minutes for star players. The goal is to keep athletes fresh for critical stretches, including playoff runs. But the strategy has also sparked debate among fans who want to see top players on the court more consistently. In college athletics, the name, image, and likeness landscape continues to evolve, creating new opportunities for student athletes. Players are building personal brands and securing endorsement deals across multiple platforms. Programs are adapting quickly as they integrate NIL into recruiting and development strategies, and the changes are reshaping the overall college sports experience. And in global soccer, clubs are investing heavily in youth academies, identifying talent earlier than ever before. The focus on development is helping teams stay competitive, while also creating opportunities for young players worldwide. As the game continues to grow globally, these academies are becoming a key part of long-term success, and they could define the next wave of international stars. And that's a look at the latest in sports. For All Sports News, I'm Ricky Smith.
Quick question. How many calls, texts, or messages does your business miss every week? Nights, weekends, busy days. That's lost money. Create Assistance helps businesses fix that problem using AI employees that answer calls, respond to texts, book appointments, and follow up with leads 24/7 automatically. No extra staff, no complicated software. Everything runs inside one simple command center that replaces scattered tools, missed follow-ups, and manual busywork. Whether you're a service business, office, or multi-location company, Create Assistance keeps your business responsive, organized, and running even when you're off the clock. Stop letting leads slip through the cracks. Visit createassistance.ai to book a free call. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
It was the Roman poet Virgil who said, "Easy is the descent to hell. All night long, all day, the doors of dark stand open. But to retrace the path, to come out again to the sweet air of heaven, there is the task, there is the burden. If I cannot move heaven, I will raise hell." We'll talk about that later, but now it's time for Rick Tittle and Titillating Sports on Byline USA. All right, that a Thursday edition of Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. I am your eponymous host coming to you from downtown San Francisco, the Sports Byline Wine USA studios here on Broadway. We'll say the neon lights. 1-800-878-PLAY is the secret code. That's all you need to know. That's how you get in. That's how you get heard with your sporting question, comment, or concern. Once again, 1-800-878-PLAY. And the great thing about this show is it's all any topic in the sporting world you would like. Football, basketball, baseball, tennis, auto racing, boxing, Olympics, Quidditch, rollerball, chess, checkers, rugby, cricket, that type of stuff. We're also streaming video of me talking. You can go to YouTube or you can go to twitch.tv, and that's up and running. It looks a little wonky right now, but give it a minute. It might kick in. It's like one of those old car engines. Hold on, let it run for a while, get the knocks out of it. All right, we'll get knocks out of some good old guests as well. Joining us after this brief commercial break is Andria Yu. She'll have some tips for her fellow motorcycle enthusiasts. Keala Kendall, Hawaiian author, has a new book getting very good reviews called That Which Feeds Us, a Hawaiian Gothic. We'll talk to her. Filmmaker Aaron Davidman, Aaron, he has a film called American Solitaire about our military. The very funny Eugene Mirman. He had a very scary, fiery car crash, but he's okay, thank goodness. And he joins us in an hour special on YouTube. And in the third hour, Nickole will join us and talk a little women's college basketball. In between that, your calls, the Twitter at Rick Tittle. We got 3 hours, so come on back.
Do you want to add a boost to your sex life this weekend? Do you want to make your partner and yourself happy? Then call our special hotline now. We'll sell you little pills that work below the belt for less than $1 a pill and deliver your package in a few days, just in time for the weekend. Our pill delivers almost the same results as expensive pills for less than $1 a piece, and you don't need a prescription. And ask about their buy 3 get 3 free offer. What are you waiting for? Boost your sex life and have a great time now. Less than $1 a pill, discreet delivery in a few days, and a buy 3 get 3 free offer? Dial this number and save it now.
800-245-2751. 800-245-2751. 800-245-2751. That's 800-245-2751. Paid for by the Pharmacy Shop.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZY.
Have you suffered sports betting losses? There is someone who wants to fight for you to see you get back what you have lost to those sports betting companies. Michael Watts is a prolific trial lawyer with over $11 billion in total for his clients. And now with sportsbettingclaim.com, he'd like to help you. Michael has been a leader in some of the largest and most complex cases in the country, from defective cars and tires to damaging drugs and medical products. He has always represented the rights of individuals harmed by large corporations. His efforts recently resulted in the recovery of billions for individuals who lost their properties to fires carelessly caused by electric companies and others. Michael knows that sports betting companies preyed on and manipulated consumers into losing their life savings, and he wants to make them pay. If you have suffered financial hardship as a result of online sports betting and would like help seeking compensation, please submit your claim information for evaluation at sportsbettingclaim.com. Michael Watts is focused on winning for you. sportsbettingclaim.com.
Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle is a genius, the best show ever. He's so wonderful, genius, the best show ever. He's so wonderful. Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle he's so handsome, he's a genius.
You're now listening to the Rick Tittle Show. Good for you.
All right, thanks for that. And welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. It's our pleasure to welcome Andria Yu to the show. She is a MSF certified rider coach for motorcycle safety, part of the Motorcycle Safety Foundation. And she's here for some tips for riders. Andria, welcome to the show. I've always kind of thought, you know, it's more for the people texting in their cars. Like, you can do everything right on a motorcycle. I mean, is that kind of half the battle now, is looking at inattentive automobile drivers?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Well, tell us about some of the safety tips, please.
Yeah, so, you know, millions of Americans love to ride, myself included, whether they're just commuting or for fun, because not only motorcycling is exhilarating, you know, it can be an economical way to get around. Some bikes and scooters getting like more than 70 miles per gallon. But motorcycles have that small profile, so they can be easily hidden in a vehicle's blind spots. In fact, one of the most common things motorists say in a crash is, I didn't see them. So, you know, if you're a car truck driver, don't rely on your vehicle's anti-collision technology. Take a second look, check your blind spots before you're pulling into the road, changing lanes, or making turns. So actively look for motorcyclists. And as you mentioned, you know, you want to stay focused. That texting can wait. Did you know at 65 miles per hour, you can cover a football field in less than 4 seconds? So that one moment of distraction really isn't worth a life. And of course, give riders a little bit of space. Motorcyclists can slow down by just rolling off the throttle, which won't activate the brake lights. So think about keeping 3 to 4 seconds of following distance so you don't inadvertently run into them.
Now, one of the things that I have a problem with sometimes is lane splitting, and I understand you don't want to sit there and suck in fumes if traffic is stopped. But I see lane splitting when traffic is flowing okay, and to me that seems super reckless. So what is the middle line between when it's okay and not okay to lane split?
So lane splitting or lane filtering, it's not legal in every state. In fact, California allows lane splitting, Arizona allows lane filtering, Colorado and Minnesota and also Utah allow lane filtering. These are different things. You really have to know the rules. Lane filtering does allow motorcyclists to pass, you know, go in between stopped traffic. So traffic has to be stopped. They have to be at a low speed, and then they are allowed to, you know, go in between the traffic lanes. But honestly, you have to really, it's a little bit more of an advanced, you know, technique. So if you're new out there, probably shouldn't be doing it. And again, you really need to only know which states allow it, because otherwise this is illegal.
You know, when people go hunting, they want to look cool and wear camo and hide from the prey, but you want to wear blaze orange so another hunter doesn't shoot you. And I kind of bring that up because motorcycle drivers want to look cool with black leather, but you're better off wearing bright colors, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the good news is there's a lot of really cool gear out there now that you can wear. You can look really cool. You can look, you know, just really look the part. But as you said, you want to be as visible as possible. So bright, light-colored gear is really good. Don't ride in a vehicle's blind spot. But when you are riding, you want to pretend as if you're invisible, because this helps you stay alert to what's happening around you. Also, as you mentioned, gear, we want to make sure we have proper gear. Full-face helmets with eye protection will give you the best protection. And look for that Department of Transportation sticker on the back. It says DOT. That means it's federal safety guidelines. Also, jackets and pants that are designed for riding are made with abrasion material. They often have armor inside to further protect your knees, elbows, and joints. You also want to make sure you have proper riding gloves and boots. And of course, the most important tip I can give is that if you're a person who wants to learn to ride, or who wants to ride, a formal riding class. This will help you build your skills and ride with a safety mindset. Those who already ride, take a refresher course, take an advanced class. You will learn life-saving techniques that you can practice on the range, so you can use it when it actually counts.
Yeah, I don't know how old you are. Do you remember Andy Rooney on 6 Minutes?
I do.
Okay. Yeah, I remember in the 80s, he had this thing where, and it was a huge thing, he went to these motorcycle stores, and he wanted to get rid of the stigma that motorcycle riders had. They were jerks or criminals, or that they were, lawless, crazy, like, I don't want my daughter going on a motorcycle. So what about some of the things, those bad reputation, I think, that still persist?
A lot of that was like pop culture stuff. In the movies, what is it, Wild One and Marlon Brando and all those. A lot of that was pushed through as culture. Motorcycling, a lot of people I know, they start riding like little dirt bikes with their kids. So it's a very family-oriented activity as well. For me, when people look at me, they actually have no idea I ride a motorcycle. I'm a 5'2", I'm a pizza person, total bookworm. I wear glasses, And so when they see me, they're like, "Oh, you're a biker chick?" I don't think of myself as a biker chick. I'm a person. I'm me. I love riding motorcycles. It's just a part of my life. I don't have a motorcycle lifestyle. It fits for my life because I love being outdoors. I love travel. I love exploring. I love adventure. And to me, this is perfectly in with what I love to do. So, there's most motorcycles out there. We follow the rules of the road, and there's just all different types of motorcycles for the type of riding you want to do, whether it's, you like the more sporty-looking bike or a cruiser to, just have a laid-back ergonomics, or there's adventure bikes now, so you go on and off-road, dual-sport motorcycles, off-road. Yeah, so many different types of riding for whatever you want.
Yeah, for me, I always loved dirt bikes, but I was listening to the Bill Burr's podcast yesterday, and he with Dean Del Rey, another comedian, get some Harleys, and they want to avoid the freeway, and they don't want to deal with all that, but once they get up the hills, he just says it's just the smoothest ride and the greatest feeling, and I guess you can empathize with that feeling, right?
Oh, totally. I mean, one of the things I love about motorcycling is, there's always this talk about being mindful and in the moment. To me, there's nothing more, nothing better you can do than ride a motorcycle, really be in the moment and be mindful. Remember, using your hands and feet, you are also using all of your senses, your eyes to look around you. You can smell different places you're going through. Sometimes I'm passing through a pasture and, well, like cow manure. That's not so great. But, I love that smell of freshly cut grass. You can feel the temperature change, going through dips and valleys, too. You feel the temperature change as you go higher in elevation or go lower. And it's all of your senses together doing one thing. And I think that's why, for me and a lot of other motorcyclists out there, they feel like riding a motorcycle is the most zen, peaceful thing you can do. Because, again, that's what I studied meditation as well, and that's what they say. Meditation is actually being focused on doing one thing. Well, it's motorcycling. And
as you mentioned, with $7 a gallon for gas, it's not a bad idea too, right?
Yeah, there are bikes out there that have 70, 80, 100 miles per gallon, especially some of the smaller scooters. So it's a great way to get around. They're also easier to park, so much fun.
All right, you can go online, msf-usa.org, and you can find a ride day near you as well. We've been speaking with Andria Yu. Andria, good stuff. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, I'm Rick Tittle. We will come on back with author Keala Kendall on the other side.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8223. 800-690-8223. 800-690-8223. That's 800-690-8223.
I am an American veteran. I'm proud to have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Car Donation Program, they'll explain how their program works, and then arrange a time they can come and pick up your vehicle for free. Running or not, it doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. Show your support by donating your car and get a tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program right now. They'll come and pick your car up for free, and you'll get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. That's 800-887-1097. Right now, you can switch from cable television to satellite television for free. That's right, we're offering free equipment, free installation, plus get a free $100 prepaid Visa card. Call the Satellite TV hotline right now. Make the switch from cable to satellite television and expand your viewing horizon. On top of free installation, for a limited time, we're offering a fixed price guarantee. With Satellite TV, you'll save money over your expensive cable bill. Plus, get access to hundreds of channels. And when you call right now, you can also ask about our seniors and military discounts. So make the switch to Satellite TV right now. Everybody gets free installation, free equipment, plus a $100 prepaid Visa card. Call right now and you can switch to Satellite TV and be watching everything you wanted to within the next week. And remember, installation's free, so call right now. 800-696-2871. 800-696-2871. 800-696-2871. That's 800-696-2871.
I'm not insightful enough to be a movie critic. Maybe I could be a food critic. These muffins taste bad. Or an art critic. That painting is bad.
I'm so disgusted by Rick Tittle that I find him very intoxicating.
All right, thank you for that show. Rick Tittle with you, nationally syndicated. I almost said nationally sanctioned. Maybe I'm that as well. Nationally syndicated out of San Francisco, California, and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. It's our pleasure to welcome to the show prolific author and New York Times bestseller, Keala Kendall. She has a brand new book which just came out a couple days ago from Random House, entitled That Which Feeds Us, a Hawaiian Gothic. Keala, welcome to the show, and I know you're a native, in fact, Molokai as well. And what is Molokai like? Because I think a lot of people, obviously, they go to Oahu or the Big Island or Maui, and then Molokai, of course, had that stigma back in the day where they would send people with leprosy, but a lot has changed, and maybe you guys like it that way, that it's not filled with mainlanders, right?
Oh, yeah, no, it's definitely a different pace. I live in Los Angeles right now, and so, and there's that perception of, how people look at you in the hospital. For Molokai, where, there are no stoplights or traffic lights, so LA driving was brand new experience. Definitely felt like I was in Mario Kart or something like that, or a racing game the first time. But, the first thing you see when you arrive in Molokai, it's pretty famous if you look up their signs, is slow down, this Molokai is that sign right outside the airport, and it's definitely a slower pace. I'm glad you brought up the leprosy thing, because when I got to the continent to go to college, one of the first things I got asked was, wait, you're from Molokai? Do you have leprosy? And I was like, oh, I thought we were. And I was like, I didn't know how to answer that. I was like, we actually have treatments for that now. So it's just an experience. It's like, yeah, I'm sure when people from New York are like, yeah, I'm from New York, they're like, oh, so you live by Broadway or Times Square. It's just that perception. But yeah, it's definitely a different pace. I actually grew up on an organic farm where we have and internet during the hours of daylight because you have solar panels and an inverter, and we're farming, flowers and fruit. So, man, buying produce is a struggle. I can't believe the prices, but you know what? I didn't grow it. So.
Very good. And growing up Hapa as well, like the mix of heritage and culture, it's a very American thing. But for someone who grew up in the islands and then coming to California, how do you sort of reckon and reconcile that?
It definitely was harder. I actually started writing this book, That Which Feeds Us, because I was dealing with a lot of homesickness, and I wanted to go home even if it was just on the page. And so I wrote the story about a Hawaiian girl uniquely going home for the first time. And so, and dealing with her feelings of connecting with her roots. But yeah, then it turned into a ghost story. But living in California, I am lucky enough that there is a large Pacific Islander Native Hawaiian community out here. There's also good food from, Japanese. So I connect through food. I don't know if everyone else loves food. Hopefully I'm talking to the right crowd. But finding a really good Hawaiian place and just getting to sit down and have a meal with friends out here really connects me back home. It's almost like a transfusion. I don't want to sound like use hyperbole, but it's just really nice to be, people who get it. It's a very loving culture. So it's just nice to reconnect with the community out here and have that opportunity.
I think, and I love it, by the way, but when we see signs that say Hawaiian barbecue, it's mostly Filipino food like, Spam and lumpia and and garlic rice and all that good stuff. All right, let's talk about I could talk to you all day about Hawaii, but let's talk about the book, because when you write for young adults, I always am amazed when you find that right pocket, because you don't want Goodnight Moon, but you don't want Clockwork Orange. So we know that a 14-year-old will throw away a book that's too babyish and will be insulted by it. So how do you get it just right?
Mm-hmm. I remember hating the feeling of being talked down to, and I think that's just like all ages, but that's when it kind of peaks, or starts, I should say, is when you are becoming more aware of your world and you're looking at your place in it. And so I do some school visits too, and sometimes the kids will make a joke and I just clap back, I'm like, oh, it almost feels like you're doing stand-up when you do high school crowds, because they're going to neg you a little bit. And it's like, okay, you got to match their energy. And so I think they respect that more than if you're like, okay, because they don't need nannies. They're learning, and either someone else what I love about young adult is it doesn't shy away from some themes, because either they're going to learn about it through a book where it's like, okay, there's a safety in this, maybe a horror film even, where you see these scary things, but it's horror. It's a film. It's a thing that you can walk away from, you can close, you can turn off, right? I'd rather they find it in entertainment than experience it in real life first, And so, I don't know, I always think about it I'm not going to talk down to you. I hope you have a good time with this. And yeah, I actually love talking to teens. They'll tell you how it is. Sometimes you look bad, you'll know.
Yeah, no, that's the brutal thing about kids. It's like, hey, you look fat today. And like, oh, thanks. And they're not being mean. They're just being kids. All right. So tell us about the plot and, getting dark here with the Gothic kind of look into the islands here.
Yeah, and so That Which Feeds Us, it's a Hawaiian Gothic thriller. An editor said this, and I'm always going to use it because I think it's perfect. It's Stink White Lotus, written by Jordan Peele. Not Jordan Peele, maybe Stephen King, with like a 2 degrees lower. Like, it's definitely not that gory or that dark, but it's about a native Hawaiian girl's search for her missing sister at a private island resort, and she's forced to uncover the island's dark history and this side of paradise that maybe most people haven't seen outside of Hawaii or are familiar with Hawaii, and so discover what happened to her while navigating haunted dreams and supernatural horrors rooted in Hawaiian folklore and ghosts. So I had a good time bringing those stories to people who weren't familiar with it. I love sharing a good ghost story, so yeah.
I noticed on the cover of the book, which I'm holding up here to our Twitch.tv and YouTube cameras, this has been selected as a Sunny Reads book, Sunnie.
Mm-hmm.
What is a Sunny Reads book?
So it's the Gen Z book club started by Reese Witherspoon, the Hello Sunshine group, and so it's more targeted towards, readers who are Gen Z and up. I would just say teen, young adult, college age, and so I feel really lucky to have that platform, for lack of a better word, because I can't imagine showing, having a better stage to do it than Elle Woods and Legally Blonde herself.
I was talking to actually Patricia Cornwell yesterday, and over the years as I've interviewed her, she was trying to get Kate Scarpetta made like decades, and then finally, she had Nicole Kidman sign on, and now it's on Prime. So I just bring that up because do you ever, when you're writing, do you picture an actor or an actress, or do you picture how it would be as a screenplay, or do you not get ahead of yourself like that?
It's not so much getting ahead. That's actually my background is in TV and film and screenwriting. I actually wanted to, funny that you're on Twitch, I actually wanted to write for video games when I was in college, and there wasn't necessarily like a path for that at the time, but I started in screenwriting. And so it's funny because sometimes when I was writing this, I was like, man, I know exactly the camera direction I'd give. This feeling, in horror, you have that classic shot of the protagonist doesn't know they're being watched, but we do. And she looks back, oh, there's nothing there. And it's like, how do you do that with a book where we see what she sees? So you can't really be like, oh, a flutter of a curtain. Like, it just feels a little weak in that way. And finding unique, fixes to that was fun. But definitely, kept thinking, man, if only I could just throw in a little illustration or a quick little clip to show this part. But I do think it leads to a more visual sensibility in my writing. I always am thinking, how will this look? Is this scary? What's the blocking? Because I love writing action sequences. Big fan of those, and just thinking about the actual mechanics of it is fun. I love something that feels very kinetic.
Right. We have less than a minute, so real quick, this is kind of a deep question, but just less than a minute, because I know you think about the colonial history of the islands, and is Captain James Cook, who of course was killed there, and in England he's known as the man who mapped the world, is he seen as, you brought all this destruction to our islands, or is he seen kind of a ersatz founding? How do you guys look at Captain Cook and that sort of first white man's presence on the island?
Ooh, that is a big question. So he is actually mentioned on the page. So Lehua is she's disconnected. She's former college athlete turned college dropout, turned mortician's assistant when she comes to the islands looking for her sister. This is her first time there. And when she's there, she meets the owner of the island. He's kind of the head of the family that's been on this island for, I think, 200 years. If we look at the map of it, 150. But anyways, he tells her about James Cook, and when she's hearing about it, he brings up the fact that she's a mortician, because I always heard myths about how we treated James Cook when I came to the continent, and I was like, I gotta set that straight for a second. But people were like, oh, so you guys are cannibals, and I'm like, I love what the Maoris said, though, in that recent Haka chant, where they're like, well, is he really your enemy if you wouldn't eat him? That's not what we did, but I thought that was funny. I was like, that's a good point.
Oh, and you know what? Leave it to me to bring this up right before we go to a break, but I want to thank you for coming on. It's Keala Kendall. The new book is That Which Feeds Us, available now from Random House. Thanks for coming on, and I'll give you more time on those deep questions. Thank you.
No, thanks. Have a good one.
All right, I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back.
Let's be honest. Most businesses don't struggle because demand is low. They struggle because their back end can't handle growth. Leads come in, but follow-up is slow. Calls get missed. Appointments don't get confirmed. And everything lives in different places. So even when marketing works, revenue doesn't scale. That's a systems problem. Create Assistance fixes this by building a done-for-you CRM and automation system that captures every lead, follows up automatically, confirms appointments, and keeps everything organized in one place. And only after that foundation is built, AI voice and chat employees get added on. If your business feels chaotic behind the scenes, it's time to fix the back end. Visit createassistance.ai and book your call today. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
We call ourselves ASAP Travel for one reason. We can help you book a ticket ASAP. For those of you that don't know, that means as soon as possible. That means no wait time. You get through right away. No searching online. Our specialty is the lowest available fares on the big-name airlines. You know them. We can't tell you their names. You can fly domestically or internationally and save more money than you could if you call the airlines directly. Our proprietary software goes underneath the hood of the major airline booking systems and finds you the best rates available. So if you're ready to make your travel plans right now, business or vacation travel, we have all the major airlines, always at great rates. Call ASAP Trips, and we'll have your ticket in your inbox in 15 minutes. Call this number now.
800-364-2984. 800-364-2984. 800-364-2984. That's 800-364-2984.
Do you have diabetes? I'm sure you've seen the television commercials on the new CGM devices from all the top brands and how well they can help you manage your diabetes. Do you have the latest and newest in diabetes technology? The Diabetes Solutions Center carries most of the top brands, and the great news is your insurance may cover most of the cost. Call our special CGM hotline today, and our friendly representatives will help see if you qualify. You could get a new CGM from the top brands at little or no cost to you. Make living with diabetes easier. You are just one free phone call away to learn if your insurance covers the cost. So make this free call today to the Diabetes Solutions Center and learn for free how to get your new continuous glucose monitor.
800-520-8629. 800-520-8629. 800-520-8629. That's 800-520-8629.
And by the way, can I just say, Rick, that Rick Tittle is one of the great names of all time.
Don't be getting your granny panties all in a bunch. We got Rick Tittle in here.
All right, thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, coast to coast, nationally syndicated out of San Francisco and around the world on American Forces Radio Network. It's our pleasure to welcome now filmmaker Aaron Davidman. He's here to talk about his new film entitled American Solitaire. We'll get to that in a second. Aaron, welcome to the show, and you're also a Bay kid like myself, is that right?
Yes, Rick. Good to be here. Thanks. Yeah, born and bred Berkeley, California.
So Berkeley High, St. Mary's, where'd you go?
Berkeley High all the way, Yellow Jackets.
Cool. Were you old enough to have to go to West Campus as a freshman?
I went to West Campus as a freshman. Are we in the same ballpark, Rick?
Well, I went to Salesian High and I graduated in the 80s, so I'm probably a little older than you.
85 for me, busting out the hive in 85. That was our motto.
See, I was 83, And so 84 out the door. All we had for ours was we got a P in 83. Like, we couldn't think of anything.
Oh, gosh.
But I remember playing.
Those were the days,
Yeah,
man.
I remember playing against Berkeley High at that West Campus gym on University. And
yeah,
that was that was not for the faint of heart. Like all the places I played in Oakland and Richmond, I guess it made us stronger. We'll go with that, Aaron.
Okay, go with that. Yeah, go with that.
All right. Let's talk about American Solitaire, because this is a very interesting look on how we have this deep connection to guns in this country, and this is through the eyes of a veteran named Joshua. Tell us a little bit more about the plot, please.
Well, the veteran, the character's name in the film is Slinger, played by the actor Joshua Close.
Gotcha.
Who gives a beautiful, subtle, understated performance about a veteran from the wars in Afghanistan, several tours, comes back and comes back a bit wounded and a bit traumatized from his experience, and it's a healing journey for this character. And he learns that in order to heal, he's going to have to understand the violence that was trained into him, and how he's going to have to train it out himself if he's going to find peace. And it's a quiet film about a loud topic, I should say, and it's a quiet film in a really noisy world at the moment. And we're finding that veterans really respond to this film. It's a narrative of an internal and a real internal journey, and an exploration of an interiority that maybe we don't see a lot in film and television these days.
It's an interesting thing because, you and I as Americans, like I feel this like connection to guns, and whenever I go to states like Nevada or Arizona or Colorado, I like to fire machine guns, but yet I don't want to own a gun because I know the stats, and the stats are I'll shoot someone I care about accidentally or on purpose, or I'll have I shoot myself. Like, the stats are just too huge that 99 times out of 100, a person you don't want to shoot is the one who gets shot. So how does, that kind of reckon with the story here?
Well, I think gun safety is something that has been politicized for some really strange reason. I suppose it's just economics. Buy anything to sell more firearms goes. But the truth of the matter is, this gun safety is really something that shouldn't be politicized and should be supported. There are behaviors that most gun owners follow, but a few too many don't, and those end up in the kind of accidental deaths and accidental shootings that you're talking about. Our film, The American Solitaire, is not a political film at all. It's really, as I pointed out, it's an emotional, and even spiritual film. But it does model some of these issues that have become politicized. So, safe gun practices, safe storage. I mean, those two issues alone could save so many accidental shootings and accidental deaths. And I think the film, models that. And I think also the issues around mental health that we don't talk about enough in our culture play a role in this. Of course, suicide is a really big factor in gun deaths in this country. May happens to be Mental Health Awareness Month, so it's good to remind everybody that if people are struggling, there are places to go, people to talk to. 988 is a phone number people can call to get on non-judgmental conversations going. And so the film touches a few of these different lanes.
So when you were making the film, was it like, look, we need to get the message out for gun safety and storage and being unloaded, what have you? Or did this sort of say, hey, while we're telling this story, it would probably be good get this out? I mean, was it the purpose of the film, or was it kind of a side thing?
It's a byproduct. You know, I'm not out to like make a big political statement. I did a bunch of research traveling around the country, talking to people about guns. I should say listening to people talk to me about guns, because gun culture was not something that I was very familiar with, but I spent a lot of time talking to all kinds of folks, from legislators to the head of the gun unit at the LAPD to I spent a few days at the NRA conference in Dallas a number of years ago. I talked to parents whose kids were shot in school shootings. I talked to surgeons who pulled bullets out of bodies every day at a stage 3 trauma center. And sort of on and on. And what I wanted to do was try to get beneath the polarized debate about guns in this culture and get to the humanity of it. So while some of the quote unquote issues are threads in the film, really it's trying to remind us of our own humanity, and that we actually have the power to solve some of these problems if we can remember to kind of, look at the struggles that we're all facing on a human level.
Do you think, as you've seen it, as someone who has a close eye on this, and you going from the Brady bill to the assault rifle ban and then bumper stocks, the fact of the matter is I feel like this will never have gun control like they do in other countries. It's just not going to happen. But I mean, is that a fatalistic way of giving up, or do you think that we do have the ability as a nation to have some sort of sanity with all this, so people don't own like literally hundreds of guns?
I mean, I'm kind of with you on one hand that the cat's out of the bag. I mean, you're not going to put 450 million privately owned firearms back away. I mean, where are they going to go? Those aren't going anywhere. And this whole myth that people are going to have their guns taken away also is just sort of absurd, when nobody's taking anybody's guns away. But I do think there is a practical consideration around arms trafficking, right? Mm-hmm. Illegal sales, straw purchases that wind up in the cartels down in Central America and South America. Like there are plenty of gaps in the system that need to be closed, and we could be spending time working on those. And I feel like most gun owners across the country believe in universal background checks. They believe in safe practices. They believe in proper training and safety protocols, which is sort of where you start. Is it when father teaches how to use a 22? It starts 90 whatever percent of the time it starts with safety. But it's these margins that need to get that where we could really use some attention. And I think some of that comes how safe practices are modeled in film and television and media. There's a really interesting program that Brady United has created called Show Gun Safety. And they're talking with Hollywood film and television producers on trying to advocate for safe gun modeling in film and television. So, show people using gun safes, show people handling weapons safely, and it's, we've seen historically how cultural change leads to policy change. And the great, a couple great examples of that are, of course, seatbelt laws, right? Mm-hmm. Nobody wanted to wear a seatbelt.
Right. Motorcycle helmet law, right?
Motorcycle helmets, yeah. It's an infringement on my freedom, on my rights. But lo and behold, enough people get behind it, they pass those laws, and car fatalities drop. So, we've seen, cigarettes is a great example. So we've seen how cultural modeling can lead to cultural change and to policy. And I think those are some interesting examples. Again, I don't think my film is going to, change the course of gun violence in our country, but I do believe that it affects people one at a time. I mean, that's what art can do. It can really kind of penetrate through the armor that we've built up around ourselves to be protected, soften our reactivity, and maybe make us think a little bit about our behaviors or our friends and neighbors' behaviors.
Very interesting. Now, how do people get their eyeballs on this film, Aaron?
Well, we're in the midst of a limited theatrical release. If you're in the Bay Area, and Rick, if you're in the Bay Area, you could come to the Lark Theater in Larkspur on Saturday night at 7:00 and see the film. I'll be there. Be an interesting Q&A after with someone from Swords to Plowshares, which is a veterans advocacy organization based in San Francisco. Elena Kim, we're going to have a conversation after the film. That's at the Lark. There's a screening in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on the 20th, I believe. Maybe that's the 21st, and in Bexley, Ohio. So we're kind of getting around. And our website, AmericanSolitaireFilm.com, has all those details.
That's a great theater right there on Magnolia. Just don't walk across the street to the Silver Peso unless you want to get into a fist fight. All right. Hey, it is Aaron Davidman, the film American Solitaire, and another local reference. I'll see you over at Top Dog on Durant. How about that?
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
All right. Congrats, Aaron, and
it.
thanks for coming on the show, man.
All right. Thanks for having me, Rick.
All right. I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back on Sports Pilot.
I'm holding in my hand the American Silver Eagle dollar. It's a beautiful piece of American history, and it's 1 ounce of silver. Originally minted in 1986, these coins are a beautiful classic piece of American history, and they're a great investment you should add to your portfolio. The beauty of silver is that however much you have available to invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire, with one coin costing around $30. So, if you choose to invest a few thousand in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money. And you'll have a tangible asset that you can hold, one you can be proud to own. Claim your piece of American history with American Silver Eagle dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. That's 800-620-1624.
If you're serious about investing in gold or silver, Allegiance Gold will give you an additional $5,000 in free gold to add to your portfolio. They can help you buy any amount of gold or silver, even roll over your current IRA into gold. They've helped thousands invest millions in gold over the years, with prices that are some of the best in the industry, with fees that are fair, reasonable, and transparent. Protect your wealth with gold. Save on your gold or silver pricing when you buy from the top-rated Allegiance Gold. Invest in gold or silver today by calling Allegiance for your free gold guide. And learn about the $5,000 free gold offer with qualified purchase. Call now.
800-413-1937. 800-413-1937. 800-413-1937. That's 800-413-1937.
I get a lot of calls from people across the country who are suffering from the affliction of IRS tax debt. Hi, I'm the tax doctor. Call me right now. My team specializes in helping people over the age of 50 solve their tax problems. And the bigger your tax problem is, the more money you can save. If you owe the IRS money, or you're about to owe the IRS money, or even if you need to file years of unfiled returns, call us right now. Our friendly trained representatives are waiting right now to take your call. Over the years, we've helped thousands of people just like you stop the tax liens, wage garnishments, and harassing phone calls. You don't need to send the IRS a big fat check. We can negotiate a lower amount. That's what we guarantee for you. So call us right now.
800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359.
Me where you must have been the class clown, and I say no, I wasn't, but I sat beside the class clown and I studied him.
Rick Tittle once threw a tennis ball at a donkey.
I feel bad about that now. All right, got a couple minutes left in hour number one. Jimenez, are you ready for a sports trivia question?
I'm ready.
All right. Normally, I like to ask you questions where I get some of them right. I didn't get any of these, so I'm interested to see if you do. Tyler Glasnow got his 1,000th strikeout last night, and 576 pitchers in history have gotten to that level. Tyler Glasnow is the fastest ever, which is amazing to me. Only 793 innings. Of the top five, and these are all guys that we know because nowadays, interleague play, you don't see guys as often. Everyone tries to hit a home run, so the talent's more watered down. But can you name the next four of the top five?
Garrett Cole.
No.
Max Scherzer.
No.
Clayton Kershaw.
No.
Let's see who's really good. Chris Sale.
No. See, these are all guys I was thinking of too. I was thinking Nolan Ryan. I was thinking Randy Johnson.
Yeah, but the high strikeouts early, it's got to be a bunch of newer guys. Let's see. Verlander.
No.
Tim Lincecum.
No. It's hard. All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
So these are, actually, I got the top six. 2 is Freddie Peralta.
Okay, Brewers.
Next is your own Robbie Ray.
Wow.
Then Yu Darvish, your old friend Blake Snell, and Dylan Cease.
Wow.
Yeah, they're all good. And I guess if you give me 100 guesses, I'd guess Blake Snell, but not in my top, 50. Anyway, thanks for playing. We have another 2 hours, so come on back.
This is all sports news. Here's what's happening across the world of sports. In Major League Baseball, teams across the league are placing a stronger emphasis on developing young talent as front offices continue to shift toward long-term roster building. Instead of relying heavily on free agency, organizations are investing more in their farm systems, looking to create sustainable success from within. The approach not only provides financial flexibility, but also allows teams to build chemistry over time. And it could play a major role in shaping the next generation of contenders. In the NFL, international expansion continues to be a major priority for the league, as more games and events are held outside the United States. The NFL has steadily increased its presence in Europe, while also exploring opportunities in new global markets. The strategy reflects a broader effort to grow the game internationally and connect with a wider audience. And as fan interest continues to rise, more international matchups are expected in the future.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Every champion has a team behind them. And for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled KATY.org. Team up with them today. Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Turning to the NBA, load management remains a key topic across the league as teams work to balance player health with performance. With a long and demanding season, organizations are carefully managing minutes for star players. The goal is to keep athletes fresh for critical stretches, including playoff runs. But the strategy has also sparked debate among fans who want to see top players on the court more consistently. In college athletics, the name, image, and likeness landscape continues to evolve, creating new opportunities for student athletes. Players are building personal brands and securing endorsement deals across multiple platforms. Programs are adapting quickly as they integrate NIL into recruiting and development strategies, and the changes are reshaping the overall college sports experience. And in global soccer, clubs are investing heavily in youth academies, identifying talent earlier than ever before. The focus on development is helping teams stay competitive, while also creating opportunities for young players worldwide. As the game continues to grow globally, these academies are becoming a key part of long-term success, and they could define the next wave of international stars. And that's a look at the latest in sports. For All Sports News, I'm Ricky Smith.
Quick question. How many calls, texts, or messages does your business miss every week? Nights, weekends, busy days. That's lost money. Create Assistance helps businesses fix that problem using AI employees that answer calls, respond to texts, book appointments, and follow up with leads 24/7 automatically. No extra staff, no complicated software. Everything runs inside one simple command center that replaces scattered tools, missed follow-ups, and manual busywork. Whether you're a service business, office, or multi-location company, Create Assistance keeps your business responsive, organized, and running even when you're off the clock. Stop letting leads slip through the cracks. Visit createassistance.ai to book a free call, or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Rick Tittle knows his sports.
I hate that guy.
I love that guy. Oh my gosh, he's so fine. Rick Tittle brings home the bacon, fries it up in a pan, and then he eats it.
Ricky T in the hizzle for shizzle, biznatch.
Thank you, Dad. Welcome back to the show. Coming up after the break, the very funny Eugene Mirman will join us. He has a brand new special. And then we'll have lots of open lines the rest of the Bobby Wagner, of course, a great defensive player and Super Bowl champion. And he made a speech at graduation at his alma mater, Utah State, last week. And as part of giving a speech, they gave him an honorary doctorate, which usually, you know, when you have commencement speakers, they give them that. I mean, Tom Brady was given one at Michigan. Harrison Butker got one as well. Kind of funny because Bobby Wagner after said, if you didn't know, my name is now Dr. Bobby Wagner. And to any family members here, you need to update my name in your phone. It's Doctor now. I will no longer on to Bobby. It's Doctor only. So it's pretty funny. Some people saw the headline and are like, what an ass. It's like, no, he's joking. So he told a story of how he committed to Utah State. He was very hesitant. That was their first offer. And he called his mom and said, I don't know if I want to go here. And she told me, I either accept the scholarship or don't come back home. There were no Ubers. There was no NIL. I wasn't getting paid, so I accepted their scholarship. I remember one of the teachers at my high school talked about a doctor, and then we found out it was an honorary doctorate, and he was acting like he had a PhD, and that was not good for him. If you get an honorary doctorate, you should joke around with it like Bobby Wagner. You don't pretend that you put in 6 years into a PhD program. You will now call me doctor. Isn't it honorary? It's still a doctorate. All right, 1-800-878-PLAY, TuneIn app, iHeartRadio, CRN, Digital Plus 2, Cable Radio Network, Channel 2, and cameras on YouTube, and also Twitch.tv. The Twitter is at Rick Tittle. Come on back with Eugene Mirman.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Office computers were from like 2012.
What? They had computers then?
Yeah, I don't know much about new tech.
Apparently.
So I went to Staples and saved big on an AI-powered HP laptop and HP OfficeJet Pro printer, which also came with 3 months of free instant ink.
And we're back in this century. During Staples HP Tech Event, save up to 35% on HP printers and up to 40% on AI-powered HP PCs.
It was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. Into 11-1 select models only.
Let's be honest. Most businesses don't struggle because demand is low. They struggle because their back end can't handle growth. Leads come in, but follow-up is slow. Calls get missed. Appointments don't get confirmed. And everything lives in different places. So even when marketing works, revenue doesn't scale. That's a systems problem. Create assistance, fix it by building a done-for-you CRM and automation system that captures every lead, follows up automatically, confirms appointments, and keeps everything organized in one place. And only after that foundation is built, voice and chat employees get added on. If your business feels chaotic behind the scenes, it's time to fix the back end. Visit createassistance.ai and book your call today. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Right now, you can switch from cable television to satellite television for free. That's right, we're offering free equipment, free installation, plus get a free $100 prepaid Visa card. Call the Satellite TV hotline right now. Make the switch from cable to satellite television and expand your viewing horizon. On top of free installation, for a limited time, we're offering a fixed price guarantee. With satellite TV, you'll save money over your expensive cable bill. Plus, get access to hundreds of channels. And when you call right now, you can ask about our seniors and military discounts. So make the switch to satellite TV right now. Everybody gets free installation, free equipment, plus a $100 prepaid Visa card. Call right now and you can switch to satellite TV and be watching everything you wanted to within the next week. And remember, installation's free, so call right now. 800-696-2871. 800-696-2871. 800-696-2871. 800-696-2871.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Come again? You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please.
Rick Tittle beats his servants.
All right, welcome back to Sports Byline USA, coast to coast, border to border, and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. Rick Tittle with you, and it's great to welcome back to the show the very funny comedian Eugene Mirman. And in fact, his special, which is called Here Comes the Whimsy, just premiered a couple of days ago on YouTube, so you can watch it free. And then the album from PGF Records will be digital and special vinyl as well. That'll be available on the 30th of this month. Eugene, welcome back to the show. And first of all, I'm glad that you're okay. I don't know, it was kind of a public thing, but I remember a few weeks ago I had your friend Mintz in here, and he assured us that some of the reports were worse than they actually were. That whatever you went through, you're okay now, is what I'm trying to say, right?
Yes. It's true that I don't remember the accident. I don't know what happened. I was pulled out before I think the car was as severely destroyed as it had become. And I haven't looked up at any of the images because I believe they're probably horrifying. So yes, but I am. Obviously I was injured, but not to the degree to which I think all the news reports made it sound. So I'm, obviously doing this, putting out a special, and I'm, feeling all right, all things considered, and very thankful, obviously, to the people who saved me, also just to be okay.
Yes, yeah, that's great news. And just one more thing about that, I remember the Curb where Albert Brooks says, "I want a funeral now. I want to see what everybody says about me." So, was it kind of weird seeing people react, or maybe kind of mean how people did?
That is, yeah. I got a lot of texts. Yes, I saw. Yeah, I got to experience a little bit of a funeral, which, though very, very sweet, also unnerving. But yes, everyone. The outpouring was extremely sweet, and of course, I think mostly it's just that I'm sad that information got out that made it seem like I was worse than I was, because the result really was that everyone who knew me, or maybe didn't even, was worried, before I could really fully let people know that I was okay.
All right. Well, that's all in the past, and thanks for addressing that. Now, Here Comes the Whimsy, as I mentioned, on YouTube, and it's funny, last 10 years talking to some of your fellow New York comedians like Joe List or Mark Norman or Sam Rill, they're like, well, they don't, as they put it, no one wants a straight white male, so we got to put this on YouTube. And then it explodes, and then now HBO and Netflix, oh, we didn't know you had that many fans. So, and you can monetize it. YouTube's kind of the way to go now.
I think a lot of people are releasing stuff on YouTube. I'm sure streamers are putting stuff out, but, we also, obviously we have vinyl, but then I made also a lot of silly packages where you could get the special with a bag of flour that I drew a face on and had a speaker with it. I think that one sold out, but I have there's autograph frame siding from my house. So we made a lot of weird packages that are silly, along with just, you could stream it, you could buy the record, or you could, obviously listen to the album digitally. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff out there. I don't think anyone's obligated to put out my special, so I don't, I think it's whatever streamers want to do. I think that all that stuff sort of comes and goes, and it's sort of fun to get to make a thing and put it out.
What do you think about having the moniker of being and not so much anymore, but back in the day of being the alt guy, like, oh, if you want to go to an alt room, that's like a Eugene Mirman type of show. Is that deserved? Do you like it, not like it, or do you disagree that you were known as the alt guy?
No, I think for sure I was probably known that way. I mean, I don't really know. It's sort of like a funny thing because when you think of like the like comics that also were in that world or thought of that world who are now so wildly popular, it's sort of like, I guess, yeah, if you need a way to, refer to a certain kind of comedy, you're certainly welcome to do that. I think like so many of the comics that are so popular today and sell out giant theaters, were all part of that world, or also crossed between, that and other stuff. But, so many people now do their sort of one-person theatrical shows that become Netflix specials. I mean, I always sort of thought of it as you try something on stage, and if it makes people laugh, it becomes your act. So for me, and the special is indicative of that, there's lots of stuff that involve visual elements or whatever, but I'm just sort of I don't know, if it gets people to laugh, who cares what got you there? And so I definitely, that's the way that people define me, and maybe they do now. I don't know. I don't know if anybody cares enough.
And, you were kind of prolific there for a while, and then it's been about a decade. And I know nowadays people want content. So guys are and gals are I got to put out a new special every year. But then some people say, no, it takes 3 years. Why was this the right time to have a new special, Eugene?
I mean, for me, it was, the reason really that I hadn't done a special in a while was partially there was the pandemic, but then also before that, really, my wife at the time had terminal cancer, and she actually died a few months before the pandemic. Yeah. But I had sort of just scaled back how much I was touring and performing, and I was, we had a child, and I was home a lot, and then after the pandemic, and I still remain home a great deal. So I don't really, it's not like I feel like I have to release anything at any specific time, or that because I haven't, I'm not this or that. So for me, it was really my life is what it is, and so the things that made me busy and reprioritize things, that was their effect. But I also really love doing stand-up, so I'd sort of been accumulating material the whole time, and now got to make it. And there's so many people actually who have probably been watching Bob's Burgers for so long, didn't necessarily know I'd done stand-up. I mean, I've had people at shows, this is maybe years ago, but be like, oh, when did you start stand-up? I think he is 5 years ago or something, being like, oh, when did you start stand-up? And it's oh, in the 90s. But if you're 23, you wouldn't know that.
For sure. And, also I'm such a huge Flight of the Conchords fan, and I got to see them live. But that's when I really got to see you, and I think about, Todd Barry, Aziz Ansari, Arj Barker, Christian Shaw, the brilliant Reese Darby. I mean, you look back now, the cast of that thing, it was just a blockbuster of talent.
Yes, it was amazing. They were so funny. And again, they did a lot of the shows that I guess you would describe as alt, but they're obviously so wildly popular that I don't know, I think it's more of a descriptor of a style or a mood or something. But yeah, they're amazing, and a lot of the people that were on that show are so funny.
All right, and people should know that Eugene is going to be the 12th at Largo, which is a great room down in L.A., and on the 30th, as I mentioned, near your hometown, you're going to be in Cambridge, Mass. at Newbury Comics for the album signing, right?
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to sign records at Newbury Comics in Harvard Square. And then I'm doing a show with Kristen Shaw at Largo. She's doing her one-person show. Well, I guess two-person because I think John Roberts is in it. But we're doing that. I'm opening for her. It's really fun, So that's what's happening.
Great stuff. All right. As I said, you can see it right now. It just came out a couple of days ago. Here Comes the Whimsy, the new comedy special. YouTube and PGF Records, the vinyl and digital download for Here Comes the Whimsy on May 30th. And this is all from our guest, Eugene Mirman. Eugene, glad you're okay. Congrats on everything that's going on, and look forward to catching up with you soon.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Bye.
I'm Tittle. We will take a quick break and come on back on Byline.
Different, yeah, I'm different. I'm different, yeah, I'm different. I'm different, yeah, I'm different. Pull up to the scene with my ceiling missing. Pull up to the scene with my ceiling missing. Pull up to the scene with my ceiling missing. Pull up to the scene with my ceiling missing. Middle finger up to my competition.
With MedGuard Alert, you're never alone. You can connect with medical professionals anywhere, anytime. And now MedGuard is introducing our exclusive new Care Watch. If you need help quickly, use it from anywhere to contact medical professionals. No cell phone required. The Care Watch is not only a life-saving medical alert device, it's a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks your blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, and much more. And here's the best part. If you have Medicaid, you may qualify to get your Care Watch for free. The Care Watch is only available through MedGuard Alert. Call us right now. We have monitoring programs starting as low as $1 a day. The call is free, activation is free, shipping is free, and no contract is required. Remember, with Medicaid, you may qualify to get your Care Watch for free. Call us to get your Care Watch right now.
800-853-8931. 800-853-8931. 800-853-8931. That's 800-853-8931.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org. Help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled Katy.org. Team up with them today.
Let's be honest. Most businesses don't struggle because demand is low. They struggle because their back end can't handle growth. Leads come in, but follow-up is slow. Calls get missed. Appointments don't get confirmed. And everything lives in different places. So even when marketing works, revenue doesn't scale. That's a systems problem. Create Assistance fixes this by building a done-for-you CRM and automation system that captures every lead, follows up automatically, confirms appointments, and keeps everything organized in one place. And after that foundation is built, AI voice and chat employees get added on. If your business feels chaotic behind the scenes, it's time to fix the back end. Visit createassistance.ai and book your call today. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is special too. It's, look, see? Still got the old tagger on it. You never even played it. See?
You just bought it?
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
I wasn't going to touch it.
No, don't touch it.
I was just pointing at it.
Well, don't point even.
Don't even point?
No. It can't be played. Never. I mean,
Can I look at it?
No, you've seen
Don't
enough
look
of that
at
one.
I'm so disgusted by Rick Tittle that I find him very intoxicating.
All right, thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. And we have open lines the rest of the hour. Come on in and have y'all say 1-800-78-PLAY. So, every few days, I take a look at the World Cup, and I guess I'm giving up on my dream of a credential since the World Cup starts in less than 5 weeks. I didn't get a credential. Well, whatever. hopefully last hour. They know who I am. But we try to, you never know the president, who he's definitely a guy who, girl, this has nothing to do with gender or generalization, but I knew a girl in high school that if you complimented her, she loved you. And if you said anything negatively, she hated you. And that's who we have right now leading the country. And whether you agree with his politics or not, or you voted for him, or you didn't vote for him, it is a fact that you have to kiss his ass, which is what the president of FIFA, Gianni Infantino, has done. But knowing that, how he can change his mind with his closest advisors and allies, what have you, I mean, especially with this World Cup, last we talked about was that because of a tie to the Revolutionary Guard, a FIFA official from Iraq was not allowed to go to Vancouver. So there's all sorts of weird stuff. But let me give you the latest because it seems to change every couple times per week. There is a guy named Paolo Zampoli, and he is from the United States. He's a special representative for something called Global Partnerships. And he's pushing for Iran to be removed from the World Cup and to be replaced with Italy. Now, I will say this about Italians, and I will stand by it. I love Italy. It's one of the most amazing countries I've ever been to. I love Italian food. But all the Italian guys I grew up with, being Catholic and going to a Catholic high school and college, all the guys I grew up with took great pride in finagling and doing chicanery and cheating and swindling. I'm not saying on earth, obviously not. By the way, just as an aside, when I was 18 years old, I was with my Italian girlfriend in Sorrento, Italy, which is down by Pompeii, and the island of Capri. I had called it Capri Sun before that. Anyway, I rented a Vespa, and I had to leave my passport, and I rented it for an hour, brought it back an hour later, and this whole did histrionics of I had it for 3 days, and I had to pay a fine to get my passport back. And even at 18, I just sat there laughing, going, you picked the wrong dude. And then we're going to call the police. And I'm like, I'm sure the police are your cousins or brothers or sisters, whatever. So I'm not getting in. I go, I was just here an hour ago. And then finally, when they found out I wasn't going to be intimidated, they said, you are a thief. And they threw my passport at me. And I said out loud, you are the people who give Italians a bad name. People like you. But this guy, Paolo Zampoli, I kind of don't blame him for trying, but this is one of the stupidest things I have ever seen. Italy has missed their third World Cup, and that sucks. There's no Italy. There's no Ireland when half the country identifies as Irish. And remember, last time in '94, the Italians, Irish, at Giant Stadium, and a Ray Houghton goal won it for Ireland. That was the hugest thing for New York City. Because everybody in New York is Italian or Irish, right? Or Puerto Rican or whatever. Still, huge Irish and Italian community in New York. And by the way, Italy ended up getting to the final. Penalties in Pasadena at the Rose Bowl against Brazil. Remember? Roberto Baggio putting it over the bar. So it does suck that there's no Denmark for me, but there's no Italy and there's no Ireland. Now, Ireland is a joke for the soccer team now. And last time it was almost English guys. The problem with Ireland now is they have all Irish guys. And they have a good goalie in Queven Kelleher. Don't ask me to spell Queven. It looks nothing like it. I love Ferguson as a forward. I mean, other than that, they really don't have much talent. Troy, former Tottenham player, maybe. 3 players. That's why they're not going to the World Cup. Italy has not a lot of great outfield players either, but it's still Italy. You're going to miss 3 World Cups in a row. And so Zampoli said that he has talked to Donald Trump, and he's asked Trump to Infantino to have Italy replace Iran. So in Italy, they have a lot of newspapers dedicated just to soccer. And when I say newspaper, I mean like 40 pages every day. 40 pages, just soccer. What's new to write? Well, sometimes you got to make up stuff, right? They have a lot. They have La Marca, like in Spain, another one. But in Italy, it's either Messaggero, the Messenger, or La Gazzetta dello Sport. Sporting Gazette. He talked, Zampoli did, to La Gazzetta dello Sport, and he said, with Trump's support, I'm going to contact Infantino because FIFA regulations are flawed. Replacement of a team show up. If Iran doesn't participate, Italy, which has won 4 times and is the highest ranked of the excluded teams, would meet the right requirements. According to you, Holmes, you like the one that's won the most? So, in response to Infantino saying Iran will play, Zampoli said, quote, okay, but the crux of the matter is understanding what the Iranians are thinking. It's very hard to trust them. Now that they say the team will come, well, what about their following? Because their following will be very unwelcome here in the United States, given what's happening. God, what an ass face. And then he said, the game is done. No, the game is not. And by the way it works, dumbass, is that if Iran doesn't go, you take the next team from that region. You don't take a European team. Italy had an entire qualifying campaign to qualify, and then they had a playoff to qualify, and they couldn't get it done. Okay? Couldn't get it done. And so this saying this in America is getting some Italians excited. You know, like, oh, wait a minute. There's an influential Italian guy in America, and he's saying this. By the way, this guy normally deals with like oceanic trade. So he also said about being told that their possible inclusion is dividing people. He said, I can understand that, but how do you think Italians would react if the national team played in the World Cup? Would they cheer like only we know how? Or would they watch the games? Or they wouldn't watch the games because we didn't qualify on the pitch? Somebody said, well, are you going to go back to Infantino again? I don't think it's necessary, even if time is running out. And last year, I already convinced to hold a World Cup draw at the Trump Kennedy Center. And I remember thinking when I saw that, what's the Trump Kennedy Center? I go, oh, it's the Kennedy Center. I thought he changed it to just Trump. But he said, somebody said that you're doing this just because you're Italian. And he said, well, it does make things easier. Like Infantino, thank goodness, has repeatedly said that Iran will participate. And by the way, the Italian sports minister, when he was asked about it, a guy named Andria Abodi, he said, the possibility of us playing in the World Cup now is both possible and inappropriate. So, but this guy getting the headlines, right? Even the Italians are saying, we haven't trained, we haven't picked a team, everybody is going on vacation. Now, there's a precedent for this because of the war in Yugoslavia. Denmark, who lost out on them, Yugoslavia was kicked out of the tournament. So Denmark played and they won the whole thing. And by the way, that was the CIS played, the independent states. That was the former Soviet Union at that time. So anyway, even the Italians say We're not going. We don't deserve it. All right, come on back.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care for people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year, and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled Katy.org. Team up with them today.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8223. 800-690-8223. 800-690-8223. That's 800-690-8223.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer. You'll taste how great it is to be an American. Available at Evmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center. Schedule your complimentary consultation today.
To me, it's like a mountain, a vast bowl of pus.
Who cares about anything else? You've got Rick Tittle on the radio.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you with the hard-hitting, eclectic sports talk. Kind of that. It's the old Steve Martin bit. The most important thing in comedy is timing. Timing. All right. Well, if you've ever been out to Sheffield Avenue in Chicago on the north side, you know about Wrigley Field, and you know about how people used to watch on the rooftops, and then people started building some, a couch, and then building some bleachers and charging. Well, this is all come in court now, because what had happened was in 2004, there was a dispute between the Cubs and the people who own the roof, and they basically said, the Cubs said, you can't charge money for this. And they said, yeah, we can. So they came to an agreement that they would share the revenue. It was a 20-year deal. So that expired in 2024. So the Cubs said, all right, we need a new deal. And for the last season plus, they kept on selling tickets. So the Cubs argue, you cannot profit off of our product. And on the other hand, they say what we see out of our windows or our roofs have nothing to do with you. And they say, yeah, if you just want to look, you're right. But if you want to make money off it, then no, you're wrong. They said, we can charge them money for any view we see. So I actually understand both sides of it. And if I had to pick, I'd probably pick the homeowners. You know, it's like, I'll charge whatever I want for looking off our roof. People want to pay. So the team, they wanted it to go to arbitration, the homeowners, and a judge said, no, you got to go to court. And the Cubs like that because the Cubs think that they can win in court. But this all goes back to a precedent from 1938. Now, I never even thought of this, but the Pittsburgh Pirates had a beef with a different radio station that wasn't covering their games of guys doing play-by-play on it. They would sit there, and they would be like, ground ball to third, blah, blah, and they would just listen on our station. That you can't do that. And they go, we can talk about whatever we want on the radio. And they said, no, you can't because you have no rights to that. And so in 1938, a judge said only one station authorized by the team can cover the team. So the thing they call Wrigley View is, and there are several of them, but it's about 200 seats. I've always thought, and I'm not there, but if you're on, I guess it is Sheffield, it's not Waveland. But if you're on Sheffield, I always thought it was cool, like on Waveland, those kids would wait out there and they'd get a home run ball, and then they'd ask, who hit it? And the people in the bleachers would turn around and be like, it was a Cub. And they'd be like, yay. And then they go, I got a Cubs home run. And they said, no, it's the other team. And then you'd watch them all the way back. I think that's cool. By the way, I have thrown one ball back. It goes against my beliefs. But it was about 10 years ago, and I was in the stands in the right bleachers at the Coliseum. I had my press credential holding a beer. Kyle Seager of the Mariners, home run, lands right next to me, and so I pick it up. And the little kid, I said, do you want it? And he looked at me like Jack the Ripper giving candy. I said, do you want it? And he went, no, no. I go, here, take it. He went, no, no. Then I hear everyone screaming, Tittle, just gnashing their teeth, furious faces, scowling. Throw it back, Tittle. Throw it back. I was like, all right, geez. And so I winged it like all the way to the infield, which is supposed to get me thrown out. And then I realized that not only did I throw it back, I'm wearing a credential. And not only that, I'm wearing a credential drinking a beer. And I thought, is this problematic, as they say? And then I watched the replay. The Roots, which was Seattle, Root Sports showed me picking up the ball, and then that was it. The local A's regional sports network, Comcast Sportsnet, they just showed the ball going to the crowd and rounding the bases. So, all right, there's no video evidence of me throwing the ball back. Anyway, the Cubs say, you have no right to charge. Now, this reminds me, what else does it remind you of? Well, I'll tell you. Ready? When I was in college studying journalism, there was a class that was called Law and Public Policy of Broadcasting. and or of journalism, whatever. It was law, public policy. And so it was a lot of FCC stuff, and how about you have to, do you know that if you have a radio station, you have to have a license, and you have to say that you are doing good for the community, or you have a radio. You say, well, I just want to play some records. Nope. You have to be a public good. So what you do is you have to give the weather and the time every hour, no matter who you are. And you have to dedicate a certain amount of time for public service announcements. Now, no one ever said you don't have to do them in prime time. You can bump them all together at 3:30 in the morning, which is what most stations do that. The PSAs go. So that's, interesting. You have to sort of prove that you're for the good. But anyway, another case that we studied. Now, this is in the 80s. This would never happen now. But this was in the 80s, and I believe it was the New York Times. It might have been the Washington Post. But they did an article that was called, "Why Do Black Men Beat Wives?" Could you imagine having an article called that right now? So that's already a hugely controversial title. But worse than that, a guy was walking to Wall Street, black guy in a suit, case. Home, he opens the paper. It's that headline with his picture. And of course, he had a cow over it. Why wouldn't you? Because that implies that he beats his wife. And so the newspaper said, "Hey, you're on the street. We can do whatever we want." And then he said, "Yeah, but you can't imply, and the implication is that's me." And they're like, "No, it's not the implication. The implication is for African Americans." Well, it went to the Supreme Court, and the guy lost. They said, if you're on the street, do whatever they want with your picture. Now, this is in the 80s. But now you have these people. I think the people with no lives, they just have free time, and all they do are stirrers. But now you have people that will like trespass and turn on their phones, and then when people say, "You got to leave," why do I got to leave? I know my rights. I know my rights. You can't make me leave. I know my rights. And I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you creating just situation? You really have no life, do you? But that's the thing that I want with. If you did that now and you implicated somebody, especially a person of color like that, there's no way that would happen. But that's the other thing where people say, I can take a picture of what I want. I remember one time in Chinatown, I forgot what it was, but I saw something in the window, and I was going to send it to somebody to see if they wanted me to buy it. And I took a picture, and this guy, and I started walking down the street. This is here in the city on Grant Street, which is Chinatown. This guy ran out, and he goes, "No pictures, no pictures." And I went, "Okay." And he goes, "Give me $1." And I went, "All right." And then he screamed, "Give me $1." And I went, "I'll never give you $1." And I started walking away, and I heard footsteps. And just for a second, I thought he was going to jump on my back and we were going to fight. I thought it was going to be a brawl. So I think he took a couple steps toward me and then changed his mind. But you can't charge people $1 for taking a picture if you are standing on public property. That's the thing. Now, if you're on private property, like a house, now I'm not going to litigate this right now on my show, but I'm saying if you're on your property and you have a view, charge somebody, I don't have it anymore, but I grew up with a view of all the bridges right across from the Golden Gate. And by the way, if you're ever in the East Bay Hills, there aren't too many views that rival that view in the entire world. I'll put that up against any view in the world. You have the entire bay. You have the Golden Gate. You have both sides of the Bay Bridge. You have the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge. If you cross your neck, you can see the the San Mateo Bridge. It's an amazing view. Alcatraz, Angel Island, the whole thing. Brooks, Yerba Buena, Treasure Island, your mama's island. But what I said, my childhood home, hey, you tourists from Bulgaria, check out this view, $5. Now, would the people who like charge tolls on the Golden Gate would be like, no. You can't charge $5 for looking at the Golden Gate Bridge. So that's why I say I kind of side with the people who set up bleachers. And if I'm the Cubs, I do understand you're making money off our stuff, and we want peace. And they were for 20 years. They were able to say, "All right, let's share the wealth, let's split it." And now that's the new. I don't know if it's the new people, but that deal is done. They wanted to go to arbitration, and a judge said, "No arbitration. This is going to court." So it will be not fascinating, but somewhat interesting to see how this turns out. And I have a feeling with the power of corporations and the power, and MLB will have the best lawyers on the planet. I have a feeling that the Cubs will win this. And I don't know. I doubt the people who run Wrigley View 200 seats are going to be having fantastic lawyers, but I don't know. So I don't know, it reminded me of some of those law and public policy of communications. Hey, I remember a class from college. That. Come on back.
If you're serious investing in gold or silver, Allegiance Gold will give you an additional $5,000 in free gold to add to your portfolio. They can help you buy any amount of gold or silver, even roll over your current IRA into gold. They've had thousands invest millions in gold over the years, with prices that are some of the best in the industry, with fees that are fair, reasonable, and transparent. Protect your wealth with gold. Save your gold or silver pricing when you buy top-rated Allegiance Gold. Invest in gold or silver today by calling Allegiance for your free gold guide, and learn about the $5,000 free gold offer with qualified purchase. Call now.
800-413-1937. 800-413-1937. 800-413-1937. That's 800-413-1937.
My fellow Americans, let the message ring out that from this day forward, when you buy American, you buy the best. Handcrafted, something premium, something pure. For this is the very essence of what our servicemen and women gave their lives to protect, and by God, we shall not allow their sacrifice to be forgotten. It's time to show the world how great American can be. And we will not wait for tomorrow to come. We will stand this moment together, and we will start today. Don't ever forget how great it is to be American. America we need right now. American Premium Vodka. Celebrate responsibly.
We call ourselves AS Travel for one reason. We can help you book a ticket ASAP. For those of you who don't know, that means as soon as possible. That means no wait time. Get through right away. No searching online. Our specialty is the lowest available fare on the big name airlines. You know them. We can't tell you the names. You can fly domestically or internationally and save more money than you could if you call the airlines directly. Our proprietary software goes underneath the hood of the major airline booking system and find you the best rates available. So if you're ready to make your travel plans right now, business or vacation travel, we have all the major airlines at great rates. Call ASAP Trips and we'll have your ticket in your inbox in 15 minutes. Call this number now.
800-364-2984. 800-364-2984. 800-364-2984. That's 800-364-2984.
If we're handing out insults for being fat, let's have a go at him. Look at him. Why? And he's got glasses. Let's call four as well. Why don't we call him Fatty Fatty Toad Boy? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Don't be getting your granny panties all in a bunch. We got Rick Tittle up in here.
Thanks for that. A couple of minutes left in hour number 2. Hour 3 coming up. We will have Nickole with us talking women's volleyball in about 45 minutes. The Hispanic Football Hall of Fame had some very awesome players go into it. Flores and Jim Plunkett, Anthony Munoz. There's a couple of Raider quarterbacks, but one of the great Raiders of all time, Ted Hendricks, went in, and I thought, Ted Hendricks, the guy looked like Charlton Heston. He's Hispanic. He's half Guatemalan. He was born in Guatemala. American dad, Guatemalan mom, and he was there for about literally a minute, and then they moved to Miami. So, 3-time All-American at Miami. He's the National Defensive Player of the Year. The most tackles ever, still in Miami history. He had, in his NFL career, 26 interceptions. This is a guy playing outside linebacker. 16 fumble recoveries, 4 safeties. The 4 safeties are tied for most in NFL history. He has 60.5 sacks. That's unofficial because sack became a stat after that, but people just watched it. He's the all-time kick blocker in NFL history. Dom, how many do you think, to be the all-time kick blocker, how many kicks did Hendricks block?
15?
25.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So, and there was a Guatemalan flag over his picture, and good for him. And by the way, he has been given the highest citizen honor in Guatemala. So they have already feted him. So that was pretty cool. All right, we got another hour. Come on back.
This is all sports news. Here's what's happening across the world of sports. In Major League Baseball, teams across the league are placing a stronger emphasis on developing young talent as front offices continue to shift toward long-term roster building. Instead of relying heavily on free agency, organizations are investing more in their farm systems, looking to create sustainable success from within. The approach not only provides financial flexibility, but also allows teams to build chemistry over time. And it could play a major role in shaping the next generation of contenders. In the NFL, international expansion continues to be a major priority for the league, as more games and events are held outside the United States. The NFL has steadily increased its presence in Europe, while also exploring opportunities in new global markets. The strategy reflects a broader effort to grow the game internationally and connect with a wider audience. And as fan interest continues to rise, more international matchups are expected in the future.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled Katy.org. Team up with them today. Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer. You'll taste how great it is to be American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Turning to the NBA, load management remains a key topic across the league as teams work to balance player health with performance. With a long and demanding season, organizations are carefully managing minutes for star players. The goal is to keep athletes fresh for critical stretches, including playoff runs. But the strategy has also sparked debate among fans who want to see top players on the court more consistently. In college athletics, the name, image, and likeness landscape continues to evolve, creating new opportunities for student athletes. Players are building personal brands and securing endorsement deals across multiple platforms. Programs are adapting quickly as they integrate NIL into recruiting and development strategies, and the changes are reshaping the overall college sports experience. And in global soccer, clubs are investing heavily in youth academies, identifying talent earlier than ever before. The focus on development is helping teams stay competitive, while also creating opportunities for young players worldwide. As the game continues to grow globally, these academies are becoming a key part of long-term success, and they could define the next wave of international stars. And that's a look at the latest in sports. For All Sports News, I'm Ricky Smith.
Quick question. How many calls, texts, or messages does your business miss every week? Nights, weekends, busy days. That's lost money. Create Assistance helps businesses fix that problem using AI employees that answer calls, respond to texts, book appointments, and follow up with leads 24/7 automatically. No extra staff, no complicated software. Everything runs inside one simple command center that replaces scattered tools, follow-ups, and manual busy work. Whether you're a service business, office, or multi-location company, Create Assistance keeps your business responsive, organized, and running even when you're off the clock. Stop letting leads slip through the cracks. Visit createassistance.ai to book a free call, or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Rick Tittle knows his sports.
I hate that guy.
I love that guy. Oh my gosh, he's so fine. Rick Tittle brings home the bacon, fries it up in a pan, and then he eats it.
Ricky T in the hizzle for shizzle, biznatch.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. You know, people always want titillating headlines, and I've been saying it now for, I don't know, over a month, that the Rossini-Vrabel thing does nothing for me, whether it's true or not. And the people they owe apologies to are their respective spouses. And like, oh, now we got new evidence. No one just knew that. Rodney Harrison had to say about it because he chimed in, of course, one of the great patriots. He said, the one saving grace, no matter what goes on in your life, has always been an NFL locker room. Those players are going through some of the same things Mike Vrabel is going through with some of the temptations, some of the things that's out there, things they struggle with. So they have a deal of empathy. So I think they'll understand and they'll forgive Mike. I think it'll bring the locker room even closer together. You still might have a few holes, a few who might be skeptical. Well, he said this, he said that, but the majority in that locker room, they love Mike Vrabel and they respect him. They know he's a human being, he's a good person, and he made a mistake. They're going to forgive him. I never even thought, like, would there be a player who's like, I don't trust you anymore? I mean, I guess I didn't even think that was a possibility. But, you know, he didn't, this isn't a war crime. Now, you know, it's not an abuse thing. It was a consensual relationship, and it's not great publicity for the organization, but I don't know. If I'm a player, I could not care less, you know? I need you guys to be there for each other. You weren't there for your wife. I'm like, is anybody going to... I don't know. As Harrison said, there might be a couple, but yeah, it's just... It's none of our business, and it's not even that exciting, you know? It's not like Sydney Sweeney and Zac Efron or something. It's just... Rick, is that your idea of exciting? I don't know. Maybe that's a bad example. Let's have a break. We'll come on back.
Have you suffered sports betting losses? There is someone who wants to fight for you to see you get back what you have lost to those sports betting companies. Michael Watts is a prolific trial lawyer with over $11 billion in total recoveries for his clients. And now with sportsbettingclaim.com, he'd like to help you. Michael has been a leader in some of the largest and most complex cases in the country, from defective cars and tires to damaging drugs and medical products. He has always represented the rights of individuals harmed by large corporations. His efforts recently resulted in the recovery of billions from individuals who lost their properties to fires carelessly caused by electric companies and others. Michael knows that sports betting companies preyed on and manipulated consumers into losing their life savings, and he wants to make them pay. If you have suffered financial hardship as a result of online sports betting and would like help seeking compensation, please submit your claim information for evaluation at sportsbettingclaim.com. Michael Watts is focused on winning for you. sportsbettingclaim.com.
I am an American veteran. I'm proud to have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Car Donation Program, they'll explain how their program works. Then arrange a time they can come and pick up your vehicle for free. Running or not, doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. Show your support by donating your car and get a tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program right now. They'll come and pick your car for free, and you'll get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. That's 800-887-1097.
I get a lot of calls from people across the country who are suffering from the affliction of IRS tax debt. Hi, I'm the tax doctor. Call me right now. My team specializes in helping people over the age of 50 solve their tax problems. And the bigger your tax problem is, the more money you can save. If you owe the IRS money, or you're about to owe the IRS money, or even if you need years of unfiled returns, call us right now. Our friendly, highly trained representatives are waiting right now to call. Over the years, we've helped thousands of people just like you stop the tax lien, wage garnishments, and harassing phone calls. You don't need to send the IRS a big fat check. We can negotiate a lower amount. That's what we guarantee for you. So call us right now.
800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359.
Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle is a genius. The best show ever. So wonderful. Genius. The best show ever. He's so wonderful. Titillating Sports. Rick Tittle. Rick is so handsome. He's a genius.
I am so excited to be back on the Rick Tittle Show.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Nickole, Tara will talk women's college volleyball in about a half. Breaking news, just in the last half hour, it is official, and after a lot of speculation, D1 men and women's March Madness committees have formally voted in favor of expanding the NCAA tournament from 68 to 76 teams, and this will come up next year, next March Madness. And the vote was unanimous. Wow. So there was an emergency joint meeting for the men's and women's basketball oversight committees that have been called for this afternoon as well. Those groups apparently must approve expansion towards ratifying the change. So the Division I cabinet is next scheduled to meet on May 22nd, and then it will pass as the NCAA's Board of Governors after that as well. So they're saying it's official, but then it still has to get through some gates. But that's the third time this millennium that the NCAA tournament has escalated, because in 2001 it went from 64 to 65, and after the Mountain West creation led the NCAA to 34 at-large bids, forcing the bracket to include that play-in game. And then in 2011, the 68 field materialized after approval of a 96-team tournament that was abandoned at the 11th hour. There was so much outcry. I remember that. We were talking about that. So they created, 15 years ago, the first four. And it was a expansion to the bracket miss brackets. So the women's tournament is also going to 76 teams, despite NCAA sources saying for years there's no practical or realistic way, competitively or financially, for the women's game to do this. They're going to expand by 16 teams. And so, look, at 76 teams, if you look at the increase in the size of March Madness, it's not going to change the calendar. The tournament will be in March, and the Final Four and the national championships will be played in the first week of April, right before the Masters. That's how they like to do it. So they're not going to adjust the calendar, but adding 8 additional bids for each means that those teams will have to be squeezed into that 3-week March Madness model that already exists. So if you think about how polarizing expansion already, the move to 76 is expected to be the long-term format. You know, as I said, they stood at 68 teams for the past 15 years. And before that, the 64/65 went back to 1985. So that's basically 41 years and mostly the same size. So 76 teams will be the major stress test on the 3 days after Selection Sunday. And from a logistical beyond 76 teams in the future, would have to disassemble the sports calendar. And people say, will this harm the possibility? Will it damage the urgency and relevancy of the regular season? Teams on the bubble will try to avoid having the worst resumes of any of those out-large teams. So the first four era is now extinct. That's gone. It's going to be replaced by a 24 team, so that's games, 16 and 6 more the next day, that Wednesday. The 12 winners from those 12 games will feed into the 52-team bracket, 64. And now we're back in the first round on Thursday. That means 32% of the tournament field will not be in the bracket when field election Sunday. It'll be there / another name. So every at-large team that plays in the opening round moving forward would not have been good enough to qualify in the previous model of a 68-team field. So the opening round games will be triple headers, staggered. I'm not going to do them all at the same time. So, I mean, if you want to make more money and you like basketball, and you might say, well, once again, what does the regular season mean? Well, to get in. I'm all for getting rid of conference tournaments. I've always thought they were stupid. I still think they're stupid. I don't get the concept of regular season. You are the champion. Now, what about the champion? Oh, they snag them. What? We're not going for sure? We trudged through all this. We played all Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all that. Yeah, kid, right now.